All right, y'all, welcome back to Decide Your Best Life mini podcast series. And obviously, we are still talking about the mindset mastery. And I don't know if we can ever master the mind, but we sure as a heck can get better at it. And today's episode is a quick one. And I wanted to talk about one of the best pieces of mindset advice I've probably ever gotten. And I was really thinking about this before I jumped on because I wanted to make sure that I gave the one that I think could help the most amount of people. And I'll be honest with you, there's so many little nuggets over the years that I have literally that have changed my soul. But I think the best pieces of advice, can I say that properly? The best piece of advice I could ever offer anyone is this. And I want you to really take it in because I want you to understand that I am not saying that there is not things that happen to all of us. And honestly, don't even compare yourself because there's always shit that is worse and there's always shit that's better. There's people that are prettier and there's people that are not as pretty. There's people that are richer and there's people that are poorer. There's people that are, all of the things. But I know each of us walking on this planet, each of us listening today and, conversing today, I know each of us have had things happen in our life, but the greatest piece of advice I could ever give you is this. You have to take personal responsibility for your life. You have to take personal responsibility for pretty much fucking everything. And as much as that is also so annoying that there is no one to blame for your life, for your circumstances, for your situation, and I'm not saying that there hasn't been people affected. I'm not saying that there has not been something that has happened to you that has wronged you or someone that has wronged you or some really shitty things that have happened in your life. I'm not saying that that is true because, oh my God, doing this job and living this life, I mean, my God, I have literally heard so many things that make your stomach sick. And situations and stories. And I mean, we've all heard them, right? We've all seen them on social media. We've seen them on television. We've heard of them in the news, and they just make you physically sick. But the greatest thing you could ever hear is that you can take personal responsibility for your life. You can change your life. You can change anything in your situation. And I know that unless you're being physically held or chained up somewhere, you really honestly can change anything. Now, I understand that it is not easy. I understand that some people have the ability to make these changes easier than others. I understand that there's certain circumstances and certain situations that make things easier or, less hard. But at the end of the day, you have the power to take personal responsibility for your life. You have the power to change your life. You have the power to make decisions that perhaps are not easy, perhaps are so hard, perhaps have definite consequences to them. But you have the ability to do that, especially a person who's listening to this podcast. You have the ability. People say to me all the time, and what really hurts me is when people close to me say, well, it's easy for you, or it must be easy for you. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. There's a lot of things that I have done in my life that have been very fucking hard. There have been moments that I have made decisions and you can tell the emotion in my voice. I mean, there have been some decisions that have been extremely hard. But I'm the only one who can make those decisions. I'm the only one who can make those choices. And just like me, you're the same. You have the ability to make a choice that, yes, may not be easy. Yes, may impact a few people, may piss a few people off, may be so hard for a moment in time, but you have the power. You have the ability to do that. Taking personal responsibility for your life, for your happiness, for your relationships, for your finances. I mean, I have clients who have literally never spoken to their family again. I have clients who sold everything and moved halfway across the world. I have clients who have left a marriage, got in a marriage, literally like put their kids in certain places because they no longer could, they were doing what's best for their children. I have had people quit their jobs, start companies, sell everything. I mean, my God, some of the things that I have had clients do over the years is not easy by any means. But the only person that can do it is them. And I really want you to hear this. Like, none of this is easy. Like, maybe a few things are easy, like, it's not too hard. But a lot of those big shifts in your life, to have big momentum shifts, to have big changes. And I'm not saying this one little shift is going to make this monumental, wonderful thing happen over here. There's a lot of lows in this life but there's a lot of peaks. And in order to have a peak in your life, you're going to have a low. And I think that that's a great thing to remember, is that not every low stays forever and not every peak stays forever. You want it to. How fast can you get back there? But at the end of the day, kind of the lows make the peaks so amazing. And you have the power to decide that. You can take personal responsibility for your life. I'm not saying you have to forgive everyone. I'm not saying you have to do these huge dramatic things, but like, if you want something, you have the power to do it. And every single time you come up with an excuse, just this morning, one of my clients, who I just love and adore her so much, we've been working together for 3.5 years. I was talking to her and I said, babe, you literally will always find a way to yes. You always take responsibility. And she was talking in regards to one of her friends who also has a similar type of business. And she said, she'll kind of talk about all the excuses of why she can't do it. And I said, yes, she will, because I know that person. And the people who have the most success are the people who go, yep, this is an obstacle, this is an obstacle, this is an obstacle, but what can I do with it? We can make excuses 1,000 times. I have someone in my life who, no matter what is happening, there's always another excuse. There's always like, well, I can't do it. I can't do this. I can't do this. This happened here. Well, I can't just do that. And it's like, no, fuck yeah, you can, but you're just not deciding it. And I know some people it quote unquote seems easier for. I had someone in my family tell me, well, it's just easy for you. And it makes me like, number one, it pisses me off, because my first reaction, if you didn't know this about me, my first reaction is I get fucking pissed. But deep down, it just hurts me. Like, if I'm being 100% vulnerable, it just hurts. It hurts the fact that like, I'm willing to do these things and yet, quote unquote, it's just easy for me. No, it's not that it's fucking easy for me. It's just that like, I fucking know I'm willing to take personal responsibility for my life. I'm willing for it to be hard. I'm willing to do things that most people aren't willing to do. I'm willing to like sacrifice now in order to succeed later. I'm willing to like fucking figure it out. Like, I'm just willing to do those things. And I think it really, really started for me at the age of 27, when I was like, fuck this. I am the only person who can change my life. I can live in my excuses. I can say that I can't do it. I can pretend like it's going to be too hard, or I can say, I'm just going to take the first step. I'm just going to figure this next step out. And I am going to decide that I am going to live my best life. I am going to decide it's my turn. I am going to take personal responsibility for my life. So I hope this podcast helps today. I hope it helps you so, so much, because I will say that the best piece of mindset advice I've ever gotten is you can take personal responsibility for your life. You can decide your best life, and you can decide it's your turn. Look at that. All three of the brands just coming in there. You guys, I'm so grateful that you listening to this short mini series on the mindset, and I'll see you tomorrow.